Like, that is not normal. Hey guys, it's Dana here, coming back to you on my 100-pound weight loss journey. So if you didn't know me, I am Dana and I am trying to lose 100 pounds. I am starting at 230 pounds. For those of you who didn't know, I am 24 years old. I work in IT, so I have the plain old desk job, currently working from home, and my height is 5'4". So today I wanted to sit down and kind of just chat with you about how I got fat, how my weight has progressed throughout my life. Also, another big realization I came to this week was actually, for the first time in a year, this is the first time I've stayed within a 10-pound range. Like, that's crazy that in my entire life, I have never stayed within a 10-pound range. And this is the realization I came to this week, and this is why I really wanted to chat about this, because it's like, if you think about it, that's not normal. As an adult, that's not normal. Like, my relationship with food is completely messed up. Like, that is not normal. So you might be wondering, how does a 24-year-old become 100 pounds overweight? Because it's not like I just woke up one day and boom, I'm fat. No, this didn't happen. It took years. I want to say when I was like in elementary school, like after grade 3 through 8, my life has always been lose weight during the summer and gain weight during the winter. But it was never like on purpose or anything like that. It was more just due to my activity level. And I was pretty athletic when I was a child. I would always go out, but during the winter, I was limited to being indoors most of the time, and I didn't do a lot of like indoor activities. So during the winter time, I would just gain weight naturally, and it was never like anything dramatic. Maybe it was like 10-15 pounds. I honestly don't know. Like, I was like kind of a chubby kid, but not like an overweight kid. And then I think it was around grade 8 when like I took fitness a lot more seriously, and I actually did tennis indoors for the first time that year. And I think that year was like when I started like my fitness journey. When I hit grade 9, I was in high school. I started to go out a lot more. I was able to go out for lunch, and my mom didn't make me lunch. She kind of just said, oh, if you want food, you go make it yourself. And I was too lazy because like, whatever. And I had some access to money. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go buy pizza during lunch. And right after grade 9, summer going in, like right after grade 9, I weighed in at 170 pounds. And that is when I started dieting. I did not know anything about calories. I knew what was like generally healthy food and generally bad food. So at the time, I talked to my mom and I was like, okay, I want you to make me healthy food. And honestly, the main thing I remember eating was literally lettuce and chicken, like plain chicken. That was like my go-to dinner. I saw it as healthy, was like, I guess, a good source of nutrients. I did this throughout the summer. In addition to eating, I don't know, a low amount, because I wasn't counting calories or anything like that. I was actually outside a lot. I was playing tennis. I was probably playing tennis like at least 2 hours a day, every day. And I was also running. I had a cross-country friend who also played tennis with me. Like, she was extremely fit as well. So we were just like doing stuff together, like playing tennis. And then, it's like, 6 o'clock. Okay, it's time for a run. that was usual. And then by the time summer was finished and it was grade 10, I weighed in at 140. When I hit 140, I stopped weighing myself. I don't want to say like I stopped caring about the whole weight loss. Like, I guess the scale just became not important to me. And again, I kind of went back to what I was used to, like going out and stuff, but it was never like severe. And then that second semester, so the second half of grade 10, I did like a girls fitness class where we went to the gym, where we had like weights and stuff. I learned how to lift. I absolutely loved lifting at that time. During that class time, like that was the most fit I've ever been. I would say, like, I was extremely amazed at what I was able to do, and like even looking back now, I'm just like, I don't know how I was able to do anything like that. Like, I would always be like one of the top people, like just in whatever I was able to do, I would push myself like crazy. I enjoyed it. But then my cat got sick. I became depressed. I lost friends. I stopped socializing with my friends. And I stopped doing anything outdoors. I also started to hate tennis. So I quit tennis. I found my love of video games. And looking back at it now, after my cat, we had to put him down. After we had to put him down, like, I was a complete wreck. My mom saw I was a complete wreck. And I remember right after it happened, she's like, I'll allow you to eat what you want. Because I remember I would always ask her, like, for chips and, like, you know, the junk food. But she would always say no. That type of stuff was, like, not allowed. But then she told me I was allowed to have it. And I think that's where things kind of started to spiral. I don't really know how much weight I gained throughout the year. I probably went back to like 170 by grade 11, and it was like a similar thing. It kind of continued until grade 12. I just remember halfway through grade 12, I'm like, oh, I don't want to look like shit in my grad photo. So again, I started to go back to like exercising and trying to lose weight. Again, I didn't know anything about like calorie counting or anything, so I wasn't doing anything like that I could mention off the top of my head what I was doing. I was just like trying to eat like whole foods, eat a lot less. I did lose some weight. I don't remember how much weight I've lost, and it wasn't like a big enough amount for me to remember, quite honestly. And then I was like, okay, well, grad's done. Let me go back to what I'm used to, and that's just like not giving a shit. And right after high school, I started university. And I know going into university, I weighed at 200 pounds. So, first year university, like, I would just opt for whatever is easier to eat. Not really anything too specific. Oh, I had to study, I would grab a bag of chips for dinner. Like, that was honestly my go-to. Yeah. And then again, summer hit. I tried to lose weight. Again, not a significant amount for me to even remember or tell you anything. Maybe like 15 pounds. And then second year of university, again, same thing. I went up. And right after second year is when I started my internship during that summer semester. And I was like, okay, well, I have a job. I like have the basic in-office job, 8 to 5. Let me make some sort of routine. And I weighed in at 230 pounds then. So that's when I like knew about calorie counting and like being in a calorie deficit. And I was like, okay, I want to get back in shape as well. I want to get back to what I was able to do when I was in high school. And that's when I started eating 1,200 calories and weightlifting. Let me tell you. So that internship lasted for 4 months. And during this 4 months, I probably around 3 months of that was eating 1,200 calories. I don't know what really happened. I know I lost weight. And then school rolled back around. And guess what happened? I went back to my usual routine of being too lazy to actually make food for myself, eating whatever was easiest. Oh, I had a midterm coming up. Okay, let me grab a bag of chips and study. Like, that's what it was. For me, it was like, oh, I'm not going to spend an hour in the kitchen. I'd rather spend that hour working on an assignment instead. That's kind of what ended up happening. So because I was doing like an internships program, third year, I only had like that one semester of school, and then I went back to the internship for this time for 8 months. I did not go back to my routine right away. I think it took like 2-3 months before I'm like, okay, I need to make a change. And guess what? I weighed in at 230 pounds again. I don't know what it is about that number. So yeah, I weighed in at 230 pounds again, and again I went back to the 1,200 calorie diet. Every day for lunch, I would have a salad with chicken. I am starting to notice a theme here. Like a protein bar, and then like dinner would always try to be like as low amount as possible I could have. Like, I remember eating crackers and tuna, like maybe 6 crackers with some tuna on top, and that was dinner. And then on Friday, me and all the like other students working there would go out for lunch, and there was like this new burger place that opened up there. We absolutely loved it, and it had included all the calories. I was like, oh, perfect. I'm just gonna fit this into my diet. Oh, this burger has like 1,100 calories. Okay, I'm just gonna eat a burger and that's it all day. That's what I would do, was eat 1,200 calories every day. I would also go to the gym 3-4 times a week and weight lift. If I wasn't going to the gym, it was because I was running like errands, like going grocery shopping or something. And because I had a routine, it was like, go to work, right after work, walk to the gym. There was a gym right across the street from work. After that, go home, dinner, do whatever, and repeat. That was my life for those 6 months. And I dropped to 170 pounds. I remember feeling fantastic. It was absolutely wonderful. I had so much more confidence within myself. Everything was going fine. I even, near the end, I think it was like in August, I actually got like a fitness trainer with my school gym. And like, she pushed me like crazy. It was honestly like a wonderful experience getting a trainer. And school started up again. I kept it up. I continued going to the gym. It wasn't as consistently because I feel like whenever I'm in school, my schedule is just a lot more chaotic. And then midterms hit. And I remember like it was like 1 week or 2 weeks where I just got really busy with schoolwork. I just felt completely overwhelmed. So I'm like, okay, I won't go to the gym now. I'll pick it back up like once midterms and like things kind of die down. I did not pick it back up. And instead, I went towards food. And this was the downfall. So 4th year, and I also had 5th year. It did not go well. this is where I want to give a trigger warning about eating disorders, specifically binge eating disorder. I feel like after that, like those midterms when I stopped, things just went downhill. It wasn't like any event or anything. I just became stressed out. Fourth year was really hard. I was like, I'm not gonna cook because I rather study. I wasn't even a great student either, but like the stress of it all was just, I guess, too much for me. So yeah, it would get bad. And then because I had like extra income from doing those internships, I wasn't worried about like eating out or ordering food. It became basically a habit to do. And then during like my last semester, I think that was my absolute worst. Anytime I would sit down to do work, I had to stuff myself in order to concentrate. I don't know why. I still can't even explain it now. When I did sit down and I like put my work in front of me, my body would feel like it was shaking if I tried to do work if I did not have food in front of me. And then because of how much food I ate while like doing homework or something, I'd feel so bad about it. I would try not to eat until I had to start working again. And then I'm like, oh shit, I need to stuff myself in order to eat. And that's when it got really bad. It was every day I would binge. So I have a friend who has ADHD. They have access to meds, and I was like, at the time, I really needed to focus. So they gave me some pills to help concentrate. And then I started doing some research on them because, if I'm gonna take some pills to help me, I would like to know what I'm taking. And I actually learned that these pills help with binge eating disorder because they help suppress appetite. And I remember I went to the library with my friend to work, and that was the first time I was able to concentrate on whatever was in front of me without thinking about food. I ended up sharing to my friend, I think I have binge eating disorder. It got so bad that every meal I basically had to binge it. And then I was just eating one meal a day because I knew I couldn't control myself. But you know what eating one meal a day does? It makes you binge because your body is hungry. So my friend made me go to the university doctor. I went. They checked my blood pressure. They asked me some questions. They made a follow-up appointment. I remember at the time I was actually going through like a really hard project, like a end of semester project. And I actually got a doctor's note to give me more time to work on it because like I just couldn't at the time. And then I spoke with a nurse. I think it was a nurse, honestly, I'm not really sure. She prescribed to me some meds to help with the binging. She also recommended I do therapy, but I was like a month away from graduating. She recommended like some therapists in like where my parents live, because I was living on my own during university. Yeah. It didn't really result in anything. It was just like, oh, here, have some meds. This should help you. And the plan was kind of like for me to go see a therapist once I moved back in with my parents after school finished. So, school finished. I managed to get through. Um, the pills worked probably for a month. And even though they were an appetite suppressant, I went back to binging. I made an appointment with a doctor, and I think it was like I had to do like a follow-up appointment with her, and then COVID hit. My appointment got canceled. And you know what I did? I never rescheduled. I never got a therapist, and I continued to binge because I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't think I was ready to confront it, and honestly, because COVID happened, it was like the perfect excuse to not go ahead and do anything about it. And I should mention, throughout that last year, I was extremely depressed. Like, I had no motivation to actually do stuff. It was more so I had to do stuff, not for my own well-being, just to do it, like just to complete it. And that's what school was. I think school was just like a trigger of stress for it. I don't know. And then after school finished, the next stress was getting a job. That honestly sucked. I was like so down on myself. I had no confidence. I even remember now, like looking back at it, on my interviews, like I would not seem like a confident person or be able to like speak well on my own ability. That having all those things, like it really did cost me job opportunities back then. And then a few months later, I finally decided to weigh in. And that's when I hit my heaviest of 265 pounds. I am not happy to say that at all. And that's when I was like, okay, I need to change something. I don't know if like my binging got like less throughout that time, but I think moving back in with my parents like helped with just kind of having some sort of a semblance of like home cooked meals. My mom wasn't like cooking all the time for me. Maybe like once every other day or something. I think that might have helped with like the binging, and I also was just avoiding a lot of stressors. Like I didn't have school anymore. I was kind of avoiding also getting a job. Yeah, it wasn't great. Not proud of that time in my life, but it happened. Yeah, and then I started to eat 1,400 calories at 265 pounds. Slowly. I say slowly because I was not very good at keeping the 1,400 pounds. It would be like, I do well one week and then like not do well the next. But over time, I did lose some weight. I then met my boyfriend. After losing some weight, I started running a bit. And then like last year, I kind of, again, it was always like I would start doing well with dieting, and then like I wouldn't be able to keep it up. Like I could do like a week or two, everything's good, and then third week it's like, oh, I fucked up, let me stop this. But then over the last year, I would say I got a job. I've been working here where I'm working now is like for over a year. So I try to make my own lunches, my own food. It took some time getting used to things. I know I gained like, I think I gained like 10 pounds after starting the job because I didn't have free time anymore. I was too lazy to cook again. Like, a lot of my problems are just me not actually cooking. I think that's a habit I need to get into, and that's what I've been trying to do this last month. But anyways, that's not what I'm trying to talk about. I want to talk about this past year, and specifically probably like from summer of 2021 to summer 2022. This is when I would like try to do better and then like kind of go back into like maintaining. So I've jumped from like 220 to 230 like probably 3 or 4 times last year. And then I moved in with my boyfriend back in January, and he comes from a family that sits down for dinner. I do not. For us, it's just a free-for-all. That's what I was used to, but I agreed, like, okay, I think it's a good idea to actually do like a dinner time. So I've been doing that for the last 6-7 months. During work, my issues have kind of been, if I'm not cooking, I'm grabbing the chips. I still do that. Although this last month I haven't. I also want to say I stopped binging. I don't know exactly how I stopped. I think over time, having like set times for meals really helped. I think also not having so much stress and guilt around eating really helped. It's been like a mix of a lot of things that probably helped. Now I know my bad habits are just not cooking, and when I don't cook, it's like I'm still hungry, I need to eat, let me grab something to eat, and that's junk food. So yeah, so that brings us back to this last month, since I started this YouTube journey. I think for me, I wanted to say I was ready. I know from like the hardest part for me is always starting. I don't know why, but I feel like I always look like, okay, this is my goal weight. How long is it going to take me to get it? Oh my God, that's a year away. It's impossible. Like that's always the mentality I have whenever I started. I know I shouldn't. And I'm also really scared to go back into the whole binge eating. I feel like even though I don't have like full-blown episodes of it anymore, like I still have like a mentality around it. Like especially during like really stressful times at work. It's like, oh, it would just be so much easier to eat while I'm working. And since I'm eating, I'm feeling better about what's going on. So that part hasn't been easy, but having what I want, like, at a lower amount has really helped. Even today, honestly, I was kind of stressed out from work, and I was like, okay, I want some chocolate. I grabbed like 7 small pieces of chocolate. I think it was like 200 calories or something. But looking back at it now, like I would be able to eat like a whole bar. Not only a whole bar, but I would want to eat even more than that. Like I would be able to sit down and eat like 3 bars if I could. So that's kind of where I'm at now. This is why I'm honestly really scared to go back to eating like a lower calorie amount. I'd rather have like a sustainable relationship with food, because like looking at it now, it's like I've always thought about like to get to this goal, but but I never thought about what's going to happen after the goal. Because I have gotten to that goal before. I have gotten under 140 pounds before. And where did that lead me? Like, right back to where I was, and even worse. So, yeah. After I hit my weight goal, I want to be able to keep up that weight goal. I don't know, maybe my goals would change then, but like, I know I need to fix my relationship with food. I think this past month I've been doing a great job. I'm not perfect, and you know, that's never gonna happen. Like, I know for a fact I'm never gonna be able to eat like a flawless diet. No. We could just throw that out the window completely. But I'm making meals like daily. Like, I'm having dinners, homemade dinners like every day, except for Fridays. Fridays we do go out to eat. But it's only once a week. That's what we leave it to. I don't remember the point of all this. I feel like I just had to share my story. I don't know if anyone is struggling with what I've struggled with. It fucking sucks. It's not something that you're gonna overcome in a day. Even when I felt like I was doing better, you know, I would relapse and things would happen, but you just try to be better the next day. And that's really it. Or I should say, you should try to be better the next meal.